Welcome to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Today is Saturday, the 11th of November already, Veterans Day. By the way, thank you, all you veterans that are out there watching the show, and I know there's quite a few of you, for allowing me to do what I do. And hopefully all of you out there can respect that and make sure if you see or know a veteran that you shake their hand and thank them for the opportunities we have here. Today is going to be a good one. We've got a special guest. We're going to get there in a second. But for all you folks that have been sending photos in, we got quite a few of them here in just the last week or two. We're not quite sure why that is, but we got a bunch. So we're going to throw in an extra one or two this morning. So if you've been sending photos in, just be patient. We're going to get to those, and we're going to show you how you can put those or submit those photos. There's a couple of different ways to do that, but we're going to have some of those photos in a bit. We're going to have my field report chasing ducks around this week. I did zero fishing, although I may have missed a small window. We'll talk about that as well in that segment about river levels and what you can expect this upcoming week, what the clarity's like, what opportunities you might have today, tomorrow, going forward, whatever it might be. I can say that there's a lot of debris in a lot of those rivers after the windstorm that we had last night. Wasn't that nuts? I don't know where you all might live, of course, but where I'm at in OC yesterday, last night, the wind was just howling. It was nuts. This morning, of course, all the effort of getting the leaves and stuff, should have just taken care of that later. But we'll have that kind of info for you like we always do. About what you can do this upcoming week, maybe give you a few ideas. We got that reminder for you for the Procure giveaway, so be paying attention for that. Also, we'll check in with Katie Suniga, find out what the weather is really going to do the next handful of days, what you can expect. I know that myself, I continually complain that we need more rain. I know we're over 4 inches of rain in November already, which is ahead of schedule, but the rivers that I need to see go up, they're not doing anything. And you might wonder which rivers those are, and they start with a W and they start with a C. They ain't going up, but the little ones are. We'll talk about that again with Katie and find out what you can expect. Hopefully, things will settle down, and even for some of the folks that have been not necessarily sending us message complaining about fishing in the bays, how that's kind of fallen off. Well, just more rain might even keep that slower, so we'll see how that works out. Although, I'll just throw this one out there to you. Crabbing has been pretty darn good in some of the estuaries, even though the salmon fishing has slowed down. Again, we'll kind of talk more about that here in a bit. Special guest in the studio, as always, Chris Bertopoulos. When we have that opportunity to have a true expert here in the studio to talk about any number of different species, from spring Chinook, fall Chinook, to all of our favorite, although that's a silver. I think that's a silver. I can't tell. Yeah, it is a silver. Is that recent? That's a dandy. Chris, when was this?
Wednesday.
That was Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Oh, when you were up north. Okay, dandy fish. We're going to talk winter steelhead with Chris today. How maybe he likes to break things down with his clients, right? A lot of times when professional guides have clients in the boat, sometimes they're not, proficient anglers. They don't get a chance to fish on the daily like a lot of us may get a chance to do. So we'll find out how he likes to make it doable for his clients and be successful. Also, though, just like we were talking before the show, how he likes to do it when he goes out fishing with his buddies, if they're guides as well, or proficient fishermen, which I'm sure he probably fishes with. How do they do it, right? What's their way that they like to break it down and go after winter steelhead? We all have our thing, right? One of the things that we like to do. I know that I certainly do, and everybody else does. So we're going to have a chance to find that out with Chris. We've got 3 segments set up for him. We're going to have plenty of time to ask questions and find out what he likes to do. As a matter of fact, utilize that Terra Firma hotline. It's 503-548-6777. There it is, 6777. If you have questions that you might want Chris to answer for you, call us up. We can relay that question to Chris and see what his response might be. So don't be shy. We're here to help in any way that we can, but also just get some good info out. So we'll have a chance to check out what Chris likes to do here in a little bit, and maybe even find out what he's been up to here real time, and maybe the next couple, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before steelhead becomes, well, the thing. which again is not that far away. Also, we're going to have your deal of the week for Fisherman's Marine. And I always say that it's another great one. Well, this is. If you're like me and you like to cook outside, okay, we cook outside year-round. Doesn't matter if it's on a smoker, if it's on a gas grill, or a Blackstone, whatever it might be, we cook outside year-round. It's one of the reasons why we bought the place that we did, because it's easy to do. But this is a good one. If you wanted to add to your outdoor cooking arsenal, this is one you want to pay attention to. I've literally never seen anything like this before. You're talking about discount, right? It's a really, really good one, so pay attention later on in the show. We'll throw that out there to you. Or you can go to Fisherman's Marine website and learn ahead of time. That was free. Anyway, we have a caller that's coming in. Can we take Roger's call before we show some photos there, Ryan? Let's talk to Roger. He's from Longview. He's got a question about deer grunts. Oh, anything with hunting, man. Let's talk about it. What's going on?
Are you there?
Yeah, I got you, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay. Look, I got these two grunts. One is set for a young buck. One is set for a mature buck. I also have a can that is a doe bleep.
Sure.
Okay. How many times should I use those within, like, 15 minutes of each other? Or should I just use one grunt for, like, a young buck, then use the can?
Are you hunting out of a tree stand? Are you still hunting? How are you actually hunting?
Yeah, I'm hunting. I'll be hunting on the ground in a blind.
In a blind. Okay. So first things first, whenever you make any noise out of to any species, it doesn't matter what it is. When you make that call, you're going to get pinpointed right now. They're going to know exactly where that call is coming from. So you have to keep that in mind. A lot of times when people use calls for deer, in particular a grunt call, or even a bleat like he's referring to, they're going to use a decoy. Okay, now not always, okay, but in a lot of cases, it just gives the deer something to see when you rattle out that call, so they don't just go, oh, something ain't quite right. Okay, so first, let's just start there. First things first. Along with that, when you do grunt or or use a doe bleat, a lot of times people, and I'm saying people because I have never, ever used a call, because I don't get to hunt deer when they're in this situation, when they're in the rut, right? When they're getting to the point where, especially blacktail, are getting into their full-blown rut. Arguably, they're getting there, right? Very nocturnal. They can be very weird at this point. But a lot of times, if you've got deer that are crossing and you can see them, right, a buck, and you can see them, one grunt could just change the day. I wouldn't make a bunch of calls if you can actually see him, because again, he's going to be staring right at where that sound is coming from, as long as the eyeball will allow him to do so. Now, if you're just going to randomly call, not seeing an actual deer, and you're just trying to make a deer around know where you are, I wouldn't make any more sounds than maybe once every 10 minutes, maybe twice in that 10-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, so that once you make that sound, if there is a deer that's hearing you, it gives them the time to try to cut that distance, right? Because one thing you got to remember, if they do cut that distance and you don't know they're there, you rattle off another grunt call, you just got pegged. Now, depending on how crazed he is, which is absolutely a good way to put it, they might continue to come in, but again, you just want to keep that in mind. So a decoy out in front, if you're going to call and make noise, is a really good idea. The doe bleat is the same thing. It's just a random sound, and it might even help you get a deer to close the distance if you can see them. I would think a grunt call would be more, apt to work right now, because they're going to want to fight. Okay, there's a lot of things we could get into.
You want the young one or the mature one?
What? Say that again.
You want the young bleep or the mature bleep?
I would say, well, you mean from the deer bleat? I would say a mature bleat. So, the deer might say, hey, honey, how are you? More of an adult version side there. But yeah, okay. I would certainly use it in that situation. But, again, calling is calling. Sometimes you just got to play with it. You got to see what the deer's reaction is going to be. But again, when you're talking about deer, it's not like ducks, okay? Although ducks can absolutely pinpoint exactly where you are. Elk, the same thing. But just remember, you make a sound, now they know what's going on, and you just want to play that game and play it the right way so that they get close enough where you can take a good, clean, ethical shot. My friend, thank you very much for calling us up, though. I hope it helps in some way. Right now, I wish I was hunting, although we did eat some deer last night, so my season worked out well for me. I got lucky. All right, let's show you some photos that everybody's been sending in, and there's been no shortage of them. Thank you, everyone. We'd love to see those. We show them at the beginning of each one of our shows. And if you have a video that you'd like to send in, do that as well. But let's go ahead and show you some of those photos that everyone's been sending in. Yes, lots of silvers out there being caught right now. Yes, everyone, that's a coho silver. Just depends on what generation you are or whatever. Great photo, too, by the way. Crabbing has been good. I know I've already mentioned that. In Tillamook, yes. And Etarts, yes. And in other areas, there's definitely been good crabbing. As you are seeing the sand, oh boy. Yeah, Haley, well done. Well done. I mean, really, just congratulations. A rifle hunt, nice raghorn, beautiful, beautiful bull right there. Yeah, congratulations. Absolutely awesome. Here's another great one. Looks like a couple of Chinook there, although the one on the left is a silver. First salmon, Diane, thanks for sending the photo in. Congratulations. You probably got some really good table fare going on right now. Here's another one. Oh, blacktail. First blacktail, Paul, congrats. By the way, one of the most delicious deer on the planet is an Oregon blacktail. Honestly, you're going to get people that might argue that one way or the other, but that's because they probably haven't even eaten one, because you got to be over here to get them. By the way, that was a pistol hunt that individual was doing, if you took a look in his right hand there. Not that I look at those things, but I do. Gem of the Cascades, what a brown. Man, that is gorgeous. Chris, you'd like that one, wouldn't you? Mike, thanks for sending that in. Looks like a trolled up fish, but I think, is that a bobber on that rod? Maybe they're bobber fishing, I don't know. Pretty cool. I know that's a dandy. That is a real predator, not a stalker or rainbow. And here's how you send them in. It's pretty easy. It's the Fox 12 app. Download it. Find Outdoor GPS. You'll scroll down. It'll tell you exactly how to upload photos and video. Do it. We'd love to see some of those photos and videos so we can show you off. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have my field report, some photos to show you. We'll get into river levels, give you an idea what you can expect going forward, because things change quickly. If you remember Sunday's show, I was like, Wednesday, Tuesday should look good. Massive spike, and then it just nosedived. We'll see what things are going to do the next couple of days. We'll be right back.